Because, let's see, I've made videos mostly during last 6 years.
Yeah.
I think a very important thing that video has allowed me to do is to, oddly enough, to engage with nature the way that I could not quite do without it. It's sort of like, you know, how come we need technology to engage with nature? We should be like totally going into nature and be there, but somehow having my little camera and filming things happening around me, like water rushing, or a light reflection moving, or just quiet things that happen that are hard to maybe even sometimes notice, and then going to my studio and looking at it bigger and maybe even slowing it down much more, like it really did something to me. The way I maybe went back and looked at nature, and I would be like, I would really see the workings of nature, and somehow it worked into my drawings later. Almost felt like I took the workings or structure or something I could see from nature and brought it into my drawing. But there was a very specific moment this spring I had when driving to Connecticut, where my parents-in-law live. And it was this moment, the wind was so strong that me in my car on highway, I felt like I'm just lifted off.
Oh.
Like this feeling when you're almost like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like you right after the Connecticut night, like some of them, like just really turbulent somehow, the wind. So I always think that there's certain beauty in it, but there's also some kind of fret or fear. Like the extreme moments of sublime, I think is the right word.
Right.
It's so, you know, beautiful and strong, but it's somehow a little bit frightening. Really what the dancer is doing, if I'm inviting the dancer, is that I'm asking her to come and see the exhibit or the works I'm interested in making visible by dance. And then, like I just had 2 days ago here, this dancer in my studio, and looking at the works and relating to them, almost like extending the drawings, letting them through her body and see what they do. So she's not really describing the works, but let's say she would use the drawing as a initial gust or something, and would let her into movement and motion. So I don't know what I'm expecting. It's pretty open, but I do want her to stay in touch with the works.
You know, that just, I don't know, just...
But also, that was interesting, it comes to my mind because the same performance I've been mentioning here, the freshest one in June, was while I was drawing, I made sound. My pencil was making sounds, and so I wanted to make sure that this gets, you know, a part of it too, because it was partly in response to the music that I did this, but it was also part of the drawing. I was really drawing, it was sort of guiding me. So it was interesting moments that you have no...
Yeah, but it was good to see you drawing, looking at performance, and like you're almost like dancing on the paper, your hands.
Right.
Yes, nice. And like you are doing the back of the paper,
the back
right?
of the paper, yeah, this came out of nowhere. I've never done this before. Right, yeah. You know, that's why I guess some performances like this, where you don't really know where you end up at the beginning. It's very important because you really react to the very moment at hand. Like right there, what would happen during next 7 minutes? What could possibly happen if 3 people or 4 decide to really engage through different media? What does really happen? It's always exciting. In that way, I do like improvising. So in significance, something pretty simple. Like this video I'm showing now in September in the ARC Fine Art exhibit. It's a found light in my studio. I came into my studio and I saw this amazing shape on my white wall made out of light.
Okay.
first I was like, I couldn't even tell where did it get there. There was this kind of organic shape, like a bone-like or something. And then I put my hand in front of it to see where does it come from. Turns out, sun comes in from my studio window, hits the plastic clear folder, and then reflects to the wall. And I was like, wow. And then I just sort of put my hand on the folder to sort of really see, like, how does it get from there? But that was just, it's like something that it's there. And then all of a sudden I realized by moving the folder cover, it just started taking these new shapes. It's like a dance of light, really. And, the most amazing stuff. So I filmed very intensely, very quickly, because, as nature is, things are changing fast.
Right. It was like, wow, look at her hands, like moving so liberally at the same time, so controlled.
Right. And that's an interesting thing you bring up too, because at the artist talk at the gallery that was led by this Estonian art critic, Andrei Xenofontov, he brought up this, I think he was the one who brought up, or maybe somebody during the discussion said like, it's interesting to find where is the freedom and where's the control and where do they meet? And like how much do you have to practice to have those two simultaneously?
Exactly.
Was my first, as a little girl, my first dream, who I should become. Right? Everybody dreams like, what will I be when I grow up? I wanted to be a figure skater. Skating on ice was so magical to me. And then I was dreaming about my white skates, girl skates. And once I got them, I was out on ice every time there was ice to be found outdoors.
Wow.
Living in Estonia, winters you get ice.
Yeah.
And so I think that sort of connects with me if I draw now. I remember looking at these lines I would make with skates on the ice. The sort of lightness and freedom and the control at the same time, because you cannot skate unless you control your body completely.
Maybe it wasn't like what you really wanted to do. It's just you were seeing the lines when they do, and then you just wanted to make the line and movement, and you are doing it, so you're not craving skating.
It's true.
Yeah.